So having been a CPA for a while now, I know that IRS personnel are often incompetent and sometimes flat out dumb. I'm talking about revenue agents, right? The auditors on the liability side. I'm talking about revenue officers on the collection side. I'm talking about offer and compromise examiners and specialists on the offer and compromise side. But now we have a report from TIGTA, as the Treasury Inspector General for Tax Administration. It's kind of their job to kind of be a watchdog over the IRS to make sure they're doing things correctly. We have a report from them, a recent report, saying that they can't even dispose of their trash correctly. Yes, believe it or not, TIGTA came out with a report in December 2024. Improved secure document safeguarding and destruction procedures are needed. Okay. Here's what they found. They basically don't know what they're doing. They have not established or communicated to personnel at various facilities standard operating procedures for sensitive document destruction to ensure uniformity and consistency. Okay, that's shocking that there's no consistent protocol at an organization as large and important and dealing with sensitive documents like social security numbers and people's information. An agency as large as the IRS doesn't have procedures in place for this. IRS officials did not know what specific sensitive document destruction procedures were used at 110 of its facilities. They couldn't even tell you. The IRS did not maintain secured bins as required for sensitive documents waiting to be destroyed. The IRS used open containers and bins with disposal slots that have been altered or in poor condition, allowing access to discarded sensitive documents. The IRS no longer performs on-site inspections at facilities where sensitive documents are brought for destruction to ensure proper disposal. By the way, these broken down bins, they have pictures of them in this report. And kind of the everyday, normal, open-faced trash can that, it's okay to throw your McDonald's wrapper in, but not okay to put a tax return with someone's social security number on it and their spouse's social security number and their children's social security numbers on it. That's not cool. So whenever I go through a TIGTA report, I love to search for the word example, okay? Because those are the things where it's like TIGTA actually found this specific thing that was going on at the IRS. So here's the first instance of the word example. It says, our review of invoices paid for October 2023 identified charges for more bins than reported by the vendor as being retrieved for destruction. So the IRS is using your money and my money, taxpayer money, to pay for more bins than are actually being used. Oh, and the bins they do use, they don't even use properly. So we've got some more examples here. All right, we talked about this. They don't have standard operating procedures for document destruction. They don't maintain secure bins. All right, they said that... Okay, this is another great one. For example, we found IRS employees were discarding sensitive documents with regular trash and recycling during our site visit to one of the IRS's larger offices not serviced under the national contract. Oh, that's great. Sorry. I don't know what happened here. Hold on. I mean, come on, folks. Like, every small micro business dealing with sensitive people's information. No, you don't discard sensitive documents with regular trash and recycling, where anybody who comes and picks up the trash can go open the thing and see, John Doe's and Jane Doe's tax return with their social security numbers and their kids' social security numbers on it. Just dumb. It's shocking that this is going on at the IRS. Okay, let's look for some more examples here. Let's get to the pictures. Okay. Examples of sensitive documents being combined with regular trash. Could you imagine? I mean, I don't know what their contracts are with like janitorial services, but they're throwing tax returns with people's sensitive information in bins like this that anybody could walk by and see. They have, right. I think this is, if this wasn't in a TIGTA report, I thought this would be a joke. Classified trash only in a big open face trash can. that people throw their lunch wrappers in. No. This is sensitive documents should be handled in a sensitive way, either shredded immediately or put in a big shredder bin that people can't reach their hands into to be professionally shredded, right? That is best practices. Everybody knows this, and it's just shocking the IRS. Here, okay, example of a bin slot opening being too large, right? So you can see here, okay, they have this a bin for, take large quantities of paper to be professionally, shredded in bulk. But, if your arm's skinny enough, you could stick your arm in that slot and pull out a ton of those likely tax documents with people's sensitive information on them, right? And, when I talk about sensitive information, it's not just the names and the socials, but sometimes it's real, it's people's medical expenses, right? Because that's a deduction on your tax return. And if the IRS wants you to provide documentation for those medical expenses, you're going to provide your medical records, which are very sensitive information, right? We're talking about support for other things like divorce decrees, right? Which may have some, stuff that you wouldn't want just anybody to know about, right? Kind of the stuff that went on between you and your spouse, right? But oftentimes, in terms of who gets to claim the child, if the IRS is questioning that, you gotta give them that divorce information. You don't want randos going through that information, right? And the list can just go on and on. It's not just names and socials. It's it's stuff about people's lives that you don't want randos knowing about because they can see it in this slot and just dig it out. What else we got here? Example of damaged and worn down bins. Look, this one's like gaping, right? This one over that other one up back there, okay, whatever. You need a pretty skinny arm to get stuff out of there. But look at this. This one's like a gaping hole here. Figure 7 provides examples of bins we identify at the Austin, Texas Tax Processing Center. Those are returns that have damaged or worn down bin disposal slot openings, right? You just stick your hand in there and have a field day. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I haven't looked at this. What is this poster here? Okay, so the IRS apparently might have some guidelines that they're supposed to put this flyer in all IRS facilities on and around bins solely used for sensitive document destruction. But I guess they are not consistently used, so they don't consistently place these around to remind people to use the bins. And that's why we have people throwing away sensitive information in the same trash can that you could use to throw away your leftovers in, right? Even though it says classified trash only. So, folks, I mean, this whole report is long, 40 some pages. I'm not going to go through all of it, but you get the idea, right? You get the idea. If you didn't have another thing to complain about the IRS about, here's another one. They're not disposing of your sensitive information properly. So, and heck, IRS employees, they've been convicted, for tax evasion. I think a TIGTA report came out showing that, a certain percentage of IRS employees aren't even current on their own taxes, yet they go after us, they go after you for your stuff. Anyway, I have some of those videos here on the left-hand side of the screen. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. You know where to find me. Choice Tax Relief, 866-8000-TAX. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.